welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Barry Botone. I'm with the Shine Rappo Tour Project. And, we are here with some very special guests. These gentlemen were nice enough to join us today and decided, kind of on the fly that we could get this together and have a good conversation about, wellbriety, fire starting. These men accomplished, I feel like, a great feat, for our communities. And we're just going to go around the table and introduce ourselves.
My name is David Levi. I'm in active recovery. I am one of the wellbriety facilitators here at the tour office. And I'm very grateful to be part of this podcast today.
Taco Kitty. My name is A. Samuels. I am a citizen of the Shine Rappo Project, Oklahoma. I am 5.5 years sober. Just completed the 12-step and the wellbriety program, and today just finished off with the Many Broken Hearts.
Hi, everybody. Chad Riley. I am suffering from the mind changers. Glad to be here. I just graduated my second class. Here being a Firestarter at Tour, and grateful to be here. Thank you.
The Tour.
The Tour. Yes, it's The Tour in El Reno. We're live in El Reno. Reno.
Yes, coming live from the 1950s South Shepherd. Here in the lab, the culture couch usually sits here. The culture couch usually sits here, but we made arrangements. We got to use our backdrop. We made this thing happen, and I'm very, very honored to have all you gentlemen here today. So what came across your mind as you completed your second training?
For me, it was just a lot of healing. There was one issue, and I'd be a little bit vulnerable here. My father passed away in 2009, and I just didn't have the tools back then to deal with it, but I grieved properly, So it really weighed on my heart, a lot of guilt and shame that I used my dad's passing as an excuse all the time to go use and drink and just tear my life apart. So to be able to acknowledge that, recognize that, and work through it, and it was great. It was really awesome because we had some great breakout sessions. Me and Ace went one-on-one and talked, had some good conversations, man, and it really helped him out.
Yeah, it does. That's great. That's great. What about you, Ace? How did you feel coming out of that? Including last week's and then this week's.
All right. So for last week, we had a bigger group last week, so we got to hear a lot of different conversations, a lot of different experiences, a lot of different perspectives from different people from all over. People that are disconnected from their tribe that are trying to get reconnected, people that are connected to their tribe and trying to use their ways to better themselves and help better others on the way. So last week was a really good one with the 12-step and the wellbriety. We watched a lot of videos. It was a 3-day session. It was just good, and I feel really honored to share that space with all of them and to gain new experiences. We brought up some things that I didn't even think about. Same thing with today or the last 3 days. There was a lot of things that I didn't think about that we brought up on our mind mapping and all those different types of things. Talking it out today. I got extra vulnerable today. I wasn't. I didn't get that vulnerable last week, but today, we just talked about things that were so close to my heart, and something that I find purpose in, something I find passion for, and something that I feel like the Creator called me to. So, it really hit me hard today, and I'm just glad that happened. Because it shows that vulnerability. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry. It's okay to express how you feel to others and just be open. And that's a form of healing. And a lot of people just don't understand that. They don't know that. So to be put in that space, to be put around that fire, and to write that letter of forgiveness, that today, that's what hit me the most. Being almost 5.5 years sober, we're working through those steps. It was kind of hard to think about, who can I forgive? When I made a lot of those amends already. But one thing I did think about is like, we harm the earth every day. Mm-hmm. So how do we find forgiveness within ourselves? about what we do as Native people, because as Native people, what we do is we are relative to the land. That's what it means to us. This land is important to us for our ancestors all the way till now. And I'm really big researcher and advocate on climate change and wildlife conservation with indigenous perspectives. So to really think about how we harm our earth every day, something that's always on my mind, and to put it out there in the open, just really express a lot and give me more ideas about the future and how I can implement that into our meetings that we have and how I can facilitate. So it's very impactful.
Mr. Chad Boyd.
Hey,
So,
Chad Man.
Oh, Chad Man.
Chad Man.
Yeah.
So,
After two, yeah. Go ahead, brother.
So, not growing up with my culture, I was adopted when I was a baby, and completely burning my life to the ground to where I had to move to a different state, and then I came out to California and meeting Sunday and Chief at the Magic House, 1567 West Embassy Street in beautiful Anaheim, California. But coming out there and learning that culture helps us. It helps, like Ace was saying, we are connected to the earth. So being reconnected with things that are not so materialistic, like it doesn't matter what I drive, it doesn't matter where I work, it doesn't matter who I'm dating. What matters is finding that the spirituality, understanding the great mystery, and because I'd lost all that, drugs and drinking, alcohol, all the mind changers, set me up for a course of just being completely broken and empty. And coming out to California, and I was in Wellbriety at South Coast Behavioral Health in Costa Mesa. And, going out there, I'm pulling off. but going out there and learn about Wellbriety, and then understanding the connection is the opposite of addiction, and then working in treatment after I graduated, and then starting to see like Dave and Brittany go through there. They were on fire for it. I mean, they were on fire, and it helped reconnect me, because to see how passionate they were, and then to see them come back and then just get involved in it like they have, it's just been a huge blessing. I don't remember what the question is, but I'm just glad to be here. And I'm going to try not to put my hands up as I'm talking, that Ricky Bobby thing where I'm just like,
this guy.
Well, I too, I've already had the Men in Broken Hearts, and it was I kind of felt like, I didn't want to start a meeting and start doing it the wrong way. You know what I mean? But there's other people in the building that are certified. And so this to me, confirmed to me, our people really need to learn how to grieve in a healthy way. It really helped me through my process, and just being able to get the Wellbriety 12 step. I mean, that was huge for me. I mean, I've been looking forward to that since I learned about Wellbriety, because I knew it was coming. I just didn't know what it was going to look like when it presented itself. So, just being able to have that certification, but not only that, but still striving in my own sobriety. I feel like that's having a working knowledge of the big book.
Mm-hmm.
That really made me feel like I knew exactly what this Wellbriety thing was about. what connections do you see from the big book to the Wellbriety book? If just a random question to anybody who wants to answer.
Let me see. For me, it would be definitely the steps. The big book. The literature itself, the words can be a little difficult.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Sure.
I'm grateful for the education I've gotten, and but I can see where some people might not be able to understand it completely.
Yeah.
And then,
That wording is a big deal.
Yeah. So
written in the 19th century Elizabethan flowery language is a very archaic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this guy.
Yeah. But at the same time, the world, that's part of the work. When you get your sponsor, you work the steps. You got to go through that book. You got to underline certain words. You got to highlight certain words. You got to
look up certain words.
Look up certain words. And so, like my big book's got stuff all through it, highlights all over it. And so like whenever I found Wellbriety, I was in the middle of my step work for AA, and I was like, oh, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And then Miss Sunday pulled the reins on me like, all right, we better hold up.
Yeah.
And finish what you started.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they'll have a better understanding of this Red Road book. And that's exactly what it was, just a finer understanding. So when I found the Red Road book, got to work into that, it was worded a little different, but all the lessons and principles are the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Principles stay the same.
The process, and it just shows a lot more a lot more relatable to us as natives, our culture.
For sure. Because, we're spiritual people. And, AA isn't about religion. It's about the spirituality, So to me, they just went hand in hand.
Right.
I could understand what they were trying to say about the spiritual side. I feel like as natives, we always look at that.
Right.
We always recognize that. And just being able to have a great sponsor who understood, like, I am very proud to be Cheyenne and Arapaho, and because of that, he wanted to know more about my culture. He liked the way that I said the great mystery, because, who is anybody to tell me what God is, so he really said, he backed me up on this Wellbriety thing. But, he also, I got sober in AA. I can't forget that. I cannot forget that. So I always hold AA dear to my heart. Shout out to the 506. That's my home group. But, Wellbriety has became like a way of life for me. I can apply it to, when I get to work, the first thing I do is I light a coal. I get some medicine burning, and I take it around to the whole building. Not everybody, I was kind of forcing it on people, which isn't good because, my way isn't the only way. These ain't, I was just I had to kind of step back and realize, who wants this? Not like here, and then turn my head like, yeah. When they walk by. But I had to realize that, like my way isn't the only way. So just being able to deal with what AA looks like, and then translate that over to Wellbriety. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. It's wording, and then what I like about Wellbriety is it includes drugs and alcohol. AA, they're like, you need to find another meeting. We got some old timers that are pretty strict around here. But also in El Reno, we have I think the second oldest AA group in Oklahoma.
Really?
Yes. Coming up on 80 years. Pretty, in a year or two, it's going to be our 80th anniversary. So, they stay true to those principles, and not trying to take anything away from them because I love them people. I mean, Miss Cindy is like
Them people.
what do you mean, them people? But you know what I mean. Like the AA, they're like we have a real solid group that them people now. But I mean, they stay true. They principles before personality.
That's right.
So I enjoy it. I enjoy like going back and forth. I enjoy. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure if the guy was joking, but Steven asked me to be the speaker this month at the AA house.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Where's that going to be?
At the 506, where Dylan was
I
speaking.
love Dylan. Good guy.
Yeah, 506 South Barker in El Reno, Oklahoma.
He spoke last week.
Yeah, I was with my mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
We were talking about the comparison or AA and World Variety. I love how the 7-step prayer says, "My Creator, I'm now willing that you should have all of them."
Yes.
And it correlates well. And Don got sober in AA, the founder of World Variety, and Miss Sunday said the same thing to me too, although I call her teacher. But the work the AA program first, so I have an understanding of, because the way World Variety it breaks it down, so I understand that it's not just. It may have started with alcohol, because that's what I first started getting loaded on.
Yeah.
But I suffer from the mind changers. I burn my life to the ground, not only with drugs and alcohol, but also with gambling, which I understand, from my understanding of what the card is, that it's, gambling. So what do you think, Ace? You got the most time here, I think.
Yeah.
So speak with old timers.
I think I'm the youngest one here.
Most sobriety.
With the most time.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Good ways.
That doesn't make me any wiser or any better, but we're here to learn from each other, right? We're here to go through this together. So that really, thinking about AA, the difference between AA and World Variety. AA is a great place to be, especially if you're just going through Alcohol Anonymous, because that's where I started as well. I started with AA, and shout out to those guys. We had the Shawnee 12-step book group, and I've since kind of disconnected from there because I found my relationship with the Creator, and started going to school, and found a purpose. I found a purpose. I found my calling. So I started working towards that. But when I started looking more into World Variety, it really fit more with our people, with Native people, because just think about it, Native people know what it's like to be part of American society. I talk about this all the time. If we, we have jobs, we pay taxes, we, have transportation, we live these new ways, because this is how we are brought up, since the last sovereign year, 1491, this is our life now, right? But so we know the American ways in society, but the American ways in society doesn't know the Native ways. So we have to be Native in America, right?
Yeah.
So we're messing with the American ways, but we also have our own dramas. We also have our own issues. We also have like our own government.
Yeah.
We also have land that we look at. We have holistic ways of thinking about things. We have song, we have dance, I'm not saying American society doesn't have anything, and I'm not, discrediting any of that, but still, we have these dances every weekend, and this ain't practice.
Yeah.
This ain't no, 2-step practice, this is the real deal. You go out there and you social dance, and you, relate to everybody you connect, right? This is an every weekend type of thing, whether it's stomp dance or powwow or gourd dancing, all these different types of things. We do this all the time. Unlike American society, where it's just like, hey, let's go to this dance class on Tuesday night. Let's take this on. But besides the point, with World Variety, it adopts all the AA stuff, right, and it indigenizes it for us. Because like I said, we're Native in America, so now we are addicts. We are in recovery. We're sober in America as Native people, right? So that's something I think that we can never really forget. We have to really resonate that all the way around about our identity and about who we are and about what our addictions actually mean in the past and where it comes from. You know, I said this before, and I think in both of the sessions that, you know, these are not our traditions. Alcohol is not our traditions. Drugs are not our traditions, right?
I think gambling is though.
Yeah, you could. But yeah, so like, you know, when you think about all these things, you know, a lot of people think, oh, Indians are just a bunch of drunks, you know. And why do you think that is? Because it was put into our reservations, into our communities on purpose for a reason.
Yes.
And that is the ongoing genocide that we still see today, because we are killing ourselves with it.
Yes.
Since it's not our traditions, we don't even know how to drink. So when we pick it up, we lose control of it, right? We lose control of it because we don't know how to handle it. And so that's really why it's really difficult in our communities, and drugs too. Drugs is the other thing. It's a numbing thing. You know, back in the day, you know, our ancestors didn't numb. You know, we took on everything. You know, we succumbed to it. We brought it on. You know, when we died, we didn't cry. We war cried, and then we just took it. It was like, oh, we ain't afraid of death, but bring it on. So, you know, it's thinking about those things. Whenever I think about our ancestors, and I think about, you know, coming into recovery and taking on all the pain head on. You know, I think of that Dances with Wolves scene where Wes Studi is surrounded by all the guys, all the tribe, right? And then he's just like, well, this is it. He war cries, and then they shoot him down, right? He went out like a warrior right there, right?
Yeah.
That's how we are, and that's how we need to be in our communities, especially if we're going to go through these programs through World Variety, the 12 Steps, Mending Broken Hearts. You know, we have to take on all of these issues and be very, very vulnerable, so we can learn how to adapt to it, learn how to deal with it. That way, we can help others in our communities. You know, that's what I love about World Variety, is that it fits us.
Yeah.
And like you said a while ago, it works for drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Right. It works for sex and gambling addiction and codependency. It works on all types of different things, because these are things that we have been accustomed to through American society. So it's like, how do we decolonize ourselves? Well, through sobriety. You know, sobriety is a start. Sobriety is a huge start, because we can't manage ourselves.
Yeah.
And if we can't manage ourselves, you know, we can't grow as a society. We can't grow as Native communities. So we have to take on all of these issues with our hearts, with passion, you know, with everything we have. Think on the ancestors, and then just keep riding with that. Keep riding with that. So I gotta say, all our relations.
If I could add something to that, one thing that we absolutely did out there in California that I love, that I see here, is going to sweats. I mean, sweat, that personified, that really, that's a big component that AA is missing, that we get in World Variety, is going to sweats and understanding how it helps. I mean, for me, it helps my spirituality.
Yes.
And I can shed all of that.
Yeah.
And boy, the sweat we went to last night, that 40 grandfather, was good.
Yeah. That's one thing I love about World Variety too. Like, one thing I had a couple of attempts at sobriety before, years ago, and I didn't do much. Like, I just sat around. I went to meetings, looked at the steps. And I was like, oh man, that sounds good. You know, wrap my head around that. But I didn't put any action into my recovery. Nobody ever told me that this is a program of action, you know. And so that World Variety, when it comes to our dances, our sweats, and other ceremonies, we have a lot more actions that we can put into our recovery. So that's what I love about it too.
Yes, for sure. I mean, and you know, speaking on, you know, doing the sweats and everything, you know, like when you're in a sweat and it gets hot, you know, and you know, you have to have that personal relationship with God to get you through that. And I mean, to me, that's like the perfect test, because do I want all these guys laughing at me if I just scoot out of here? You know, like, or do I
door.
yeah. Or do I sit in this and show the creator that he's put way more in front of me before and I'm still here?
Yeah, like for instance, last night in that third round,
Ooh, wait.
man, they had some new rocks, bro. It was beaming there.
Glowing.
Yeah,
I
they're
was
glowing.
on the verge of like
Almost
freaking
winking
out.
at me.
I was like, in my head, I'm telling like, "Ooh, just climb out of this thing, you know? But at the same time, I had to revert back to myself, like, man, be grateful that we still have our ways.
Yes.
Use these meditation tools, these breathing techniques I've learned over the past year,
Yeah.
and put them into action right now.
Yeah.
It'll get you through it. And that's what
Yeah.
I did.
So I was saying, what we do, we take on the full effect of these issues, without numbing ourselves.
Yeah.
We take on life without numbing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we grow as Native people. That's who we are. That's what we do, as Native people. So, it's the same thing in the sweat lodge. You basically just deal with it. I know the last one, I was right next to those rocks, and it kept, getting my leg, I kept trying to pull my shorts down a little bit, and then I'm leaning on this guy. I'm basically sitting in his lap like that.
Allegedly.
What happens in the sweat stays in the sweat.
Right.
We mixed a lot of juices in there. Oh man. Ooh,
But yeah, it's always an honor. I see it as an honor today to
Absolutely.
create that relationship with the creator. I mean, before I turned to him like he was Santa Claus.
Right.
I didn't know what I was doing to myself, and I wondered why my answers were never ever met. Please keep her in my life.
Yeah.
I can fix her.
This guy.
Mr. 13th step.
Yeah. But it was what I like about Wellbriety too is the codependency. It addresses that.
Yeah.
Huge in Indian country. Codependency. I mean, we even had a talking circle because there was nothing but men there.
Yeah.
Just nothing but men there, and I got to pick the topic, and I said codependency.
It was a good one.
And it touches, because so much pride and ego with a group of men happen that when you get vulnerable and you talk about what bothered you, what you could have done better, yada yada yada, you know what I mean? Like, it really gets your attention. And as a person that, I can't sit here and lie, but I used to be a horrible person. I put my baby mothers through hell, and would just keep repeating the process over and over and over, and I didn't understand that doing the sex inventory from AA is what has me sober today. Kept me single, but kept me sober, because I realized I got a lot of issues going on. It's probably best that if I enjoy my sobriety, I better keep going over that inventory. And it hasn't been easy, but I'm willing to share that because it's a huge, huge topic in this community.
Yeah, and that's just overlooked. Totally overlooked. Like it's a normal thing. I thought me going from get my heart broken to latching on to the next girl, doing that, get my heart broken again, latching on to the next one, was what I was doing, like I would always do. You know? And it's just, it's definitely eye-opening once you learn more about codependency. The thing about it, that's the great thing too about what Brady said. It's included in the book. I remember in California, I had to look online for codependency to find something. But I didn't get that far into the book yet.
When I did being a chronic relapser, I had some sobriety in the past, and when I did my 4-step this time, what really helped me, what I think it has really fostered my sobriety. Like Chief says, that from the Magic House. By the way, that's that Chief.
This guy.
But it is that we come into sobriety and then our sobriety goes into we go from sobriety to recovery, from recovery to discovery, and then discarding those old things, those old behaviors. But my biggest thing on the 4-step were my resentments at myself, because looking at how I let all that stuff affect me, what my decisions were, and really pulling that stuff out, and then of course going to sweat, and then getting everything up in sweat. That was really beneficial to me.
Yeah. Yes, we were with them grandfathers.
That's right.
That's with them grandfathers.
He's on it with the sound bite too.
Prepared. You gotta look at it.
Hey, can we talk about the concert? Is that
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So coming out here, I had no idea what was going to happen. I just knew that my brothers were out here, and it was awesome to come. And then the gifts started coming, the things that you can't buy at Walmart. The experience of getting to go pass out Narcan and potentially saving someone's life. And I want to thank Tor and El Reno. That's the Tor, El Reno, Tribal Opioid Response, part of the 988. We got to experience that, and then just the cherry on it was that it was Shine Down and Theory of the Dead Man. The bonding with y'all, getting to do that, and it wasn't triggering at all, because you saw those. I saw those people. There's 10,000 people there, and the ones that were really drunk. They did not look there to say, like ACDC back in the 80s, baby. Yeah.
I seen one of my best friends out there on my addiction. She was blank.
Yeah.
Blank. I was like, oh my gosh. And it felt so good for me to be on the side of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was like, oh my God,
that was me.
That would be me.
That was me. Big nose and all.
Yeah.
Big red nose and all. All of that.
But yeah, it was a great experience.
And it was free. I mean, that's the thing, is that I didn't know it was coming. I know that I saw a buddy of mine, his name's Riley Cavins. Glad you're sober, bro. He had posted that he was going to. I was like, man, I've always wanted to see Theory of the Dead Man. And then not knowing I was going to get to go to it, and then go to it. And then Dave's niece gave us the VIP in the what I like to call the open coach limo.
we were waiting in line to get up the traffic. Traffic was like, how are we going to get in? It's sold out. Like, bro, we're going to walk in like we own it.
I'm like,
I know Barry Botone.
HK.
One phone call.
One call.
Good.
That's all.
No, I didn't even say tour. I didn't even say tour. I was like, I'm with the Tribal Opioid Response Unit.
With Barry.
Yeah, with Barry. Yeah. And they were like, go on through.
So I was like, metal detectors and nothing.
Because they know.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I was like, it's that.
Yeah.
I was like, harm reduction man. Harm reduction man. You know that guy.
We're like, no. I'm talking about HK.
Oh yeah.
I know him. All right.
Hey, no, but seriously, I knew Barry because I came out here with Sunday and Toya. Shout out to both of them, sisters. We came out here in February, and then I was at work one day, and I was talking to someone who's around here, and they started talking about this cat named HK, and they couldn't believe he was sober. They're like, HK, that fool, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's HK, he's running stuff around here and up in El Reno, you know what I'm saying? It was all like, it was HK, and I told him he was sober, and he was sober, and it just blew his mind. And it's like, and I think that's who Creator uses, is the least likely suspects at recovery, to show that if this guy can get sober, then I have a chance. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about Wellbriety is that it's all nations coming together.
Yes.
You know, that there's that we're inclusive, not exclusive.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I think that's something that I want the listeners to know is that there's not a blood quantum involved. This is all nations coming together, and we just want to help. That's part of the prophecy with the seventh generation, and we're here to help the next 7 generations.
For sure. Cultivate that healthy
Forest.
forest.
The soil.
Oh yeah, healing
and
forest.
I mean, and I remember there was a time I used to think that we were dead when our fathers were born. That was what I used to think, because they were passing down what, you know what I mean, like just that toxicity, everything.
Oh, the intergenerational
Yes,
trauma.
the intergenerational
Right.
trauma. I used to think that because somebody told me that.
Mm.
Man, we were dead when our fathers were born.
Mm.
That was that old way of thinking. And so to be able to sit in here today with some of my brothers, you know what I mean, and talking about cultivating and taking these certifications
That's right.
and doing something positive for our people, because they say we got to give this away to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful thing to me about sobriety is that every bad choice I've ever made, every wrong decision I've ever made can be used to save somebody else's life.
Our defects become assets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
Man, that blows my mind every time. Every time.
Yes.
Like, and I just feel blessed. I feel super blessed that we just get this opportunity. Is there anybody that would like to say anything before we get ready for this Wellbriety meeting?
Oh yeah. Let's see. One thing that I've learned is that it takes a warrior's courage to take these steps. So any of you brothers out there that think you're a warrior, I challenge you with the steps of AA. What it done for me is those steps of AA brought me back to my health, and the Wellbriety steps brought me back to my people.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. Well, again, my name is Ace, and I'm single.
Anti-slayer.
Just hear that one anti out there.
Waiting for him at the 49.
Yeah. Dang, still Ricket, this guy. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So like, I gotta second that, because, my culture, my people, that's what drives me.
Yeah.
That's what drives me, and I want to see us to be able to be to manage ourselves with good medicine. With all that good medicine, and that culture is prevention. I love to say that, because it's something that I kind of grew accustomed to. I didn't really think about it until I was like teaching B classes on culture is prevention. But I was like, well, also sobriety. Also recovery. All these meetings and everything that we go through to better ourselves is prevention, right? So, get out there. This is what I'm doing. I'm practicing. I'm trying to learn my language, both languages, the Choctaw language and the Arapaho language. And that's also something else that drives me. How can I learn that and teach others along the way? Especially with what I learn how to say right. What about the stories that we have? Can we learn those things and pass those knowledges along the way? Can we learn about song? What about dance? With the Rezcovery Clan, I'm so honored to be a part of that. Look for the purple shirts and the purple skirts, because we're always open arms, right?
Yeah.
So those things, that the Rezcovery Clan is something that really helps me in my recovery. And I've seen it. We've seen it. We talk about it in our group chat, that we see people that are like, man, I see those purple shirts. I see those purple skirts. Man, that really shows me. That really gives me hope that sobriety is possible.
Yes.
Within us. It's there. And and that's really impactful just to hear it. And when we hear it and when we see it, we feel it. We feel it deep in our hearts, deep within our minds. They both work interconnectedly, and then once they work interconnectedly, there's just no stopping you.
Yes.
There's no stopping you. So get out there, do your best, go back to grandma's house, go sleep on the couch, find a recovery center, come to the meetings over here, go find an AA.
Call for
Yeah, anybody, call us, my name is Ace Sanders, reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, whatever, let us help you find a place for you to heal. All of this is good medicine this way. And we want, like I said, we're all open arms. We want all of our people to be well. And this is where it starts. You got to start now. No time like the present, innit? I hope.
It's that one empty again.
So real quickly, I wanted to do a couple of shouts out, if that's okay. First of all, I want to thank Malcolm at Dope Sick.
What's up,
Yes,
Malcolm?
thank you,
Yeah.
Malcolm.
We love you, brother.
Appreciate you.
I need one.
Cali
And-
Muscle.
Yeah. Ow! And you can get those T-shirts at the Magic Warehouse, 1567 West Davidson Street in Anaheim, California. So, and the other thing, I was at, we have a talking circle at the Magic Warehouse, and I forgot to give a shout out to Red and Brad. They're my brothers and sisters. They're my brother and sister, and I just wanted to recognize them. I was in treatment with them. They had some legal stuff to take care of, and then came back to California. Now they're house managing and doing good things in the community, and I just wanted to let them know that I love them. If I can get it, anybody can get it, and that's what I love about Will Bridie. I hope.
Well, a lot of great points. A lot of. I'm very honored to just to be a part of this. A lot of healing. We talk about generational trauma. I think now we're getting into the generational healing. And it started with surrendering to this thing and giving it all to the Creator. And I haven't looked back. I love the fact that these people view me as that guy that was strung the hell out and doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
But now,
You're famous.
now, I get an opportunity to, like me and my sponsor Shane always says, I have a new employee.
Being all powerful, he
Yes.
provides what I need as long as I keep close to him and perform his work well.
Yes, I have a new employee. And for that, I'm grateful. For being Cheyenne and Arapaho, I'm grateful. For living in this community that I gave hell to for so long, and being able to give back the way that I do. I mean, it that helps me heal. So I'm just super honored. I'm grateful. That's how I start my day off, and I got to give this up because to me, this is all the Creator. I can't sit here and take credit for any of this. It's all the Creator. And for that, I'm very honored, and I'm just glad we got to get in this session. Chad goes back, heading back to
1567.
We just want you to write to him. No, this is prison. Prison.
But
good.
I'm gonna have you're gonna see my family out there.
Yes, sir, I will.
And that's part of this connection that we got going, and I love that I'm willing to hand over my own family and say, let's see, do what you got to do because I trust you guys that much.
It's an honor and an obligation.
Yes.
And everybody at Magic House out there is family.
I already know.
Like,
I've been watching that, and
we plan on you coming up there.
it's on my bucket list. Like that's my bucket list.
Chief, he says he's coming, so he's made a promise.
It's definitely on my bucket list. That's how much getting out there and just experiencing this means to me. I mean, And what was crazy is I could have went whenever I was out there, but it wasn't as big as it is now.
Did you ever go to the ocean?
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's what's funny is that everyone can go to the ocean, but they can't go to the magic
Yeah.
house. It's like choices. Everyone's got
You
it.
know, Fountain Valley to
Yeah.
Anaheim on the bus. You know,
And on Sunday night at 9:00,
Yeah.
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
'Cause it ain't going.
Yeah.
But also the Magic House, the chief and them, they provide. You let them know a few days ahead of time. I need a ride.
They will.
They
will.
pick you up wherever
And
you
I know
go.
the guy that drives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
His name's Chad Riley. They gave me a beautiful van. I love it.
Oh yeah. They kept picking me up in the Escalade.
Yeah.
They got a dump
Yeah.
Escalade with Chief's picture on the side
Yeah.
of the window. Lift top on it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're doing
That's
great
amazing.
things.
That's amazing. You know, and
And
I'm just
Ace, we want you to come out there too.
Man, whenever I get the chance, I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I'm always down. That's
Can we give him a shout out at his beating work?
show them what you're doing. Show them what you're doing,
Yeah.
brother.
doing. You Madonna here.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a medallion.
Oh yeah. Does it spin?
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, I guess with that, you know, we're gonna go ahead and close out if that's okay with all you gentlemen. I appreciate y'all coming on. Always welcome. Always welcome. You know, you got something on your mind, you want to get off, and you feel like our people need to hear it.
Mhm.
I would love to have each and every one of y'all back. You know, our house is your house. You know, so I just want to congratulate y'all on your certifications. I think y'all are gonna add to, you know, you're gonna do great things. You're gonna continue to do great things. You know, which you already were, but I mean, this enforces that purpose. You know, and for that, I'm truly honored to be sitting here with you gentlemen. So, aho.
Oh.